On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
Google is really putting the AI in email.
There's a scandal in social land, and I don't want to grok about it.
and you beta believe that we have thoughts on the new PMax experiments in Google Ads.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Monday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shep.
I'm Jess Budd,
And I'm Greg Finn.
and it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on January 12th, 2026.
And we've got big news, people. Big news here on set.
Okay.
And Shep.
Greg loves to announce my pregnancy.
I'm not announcing it.
Okay.
We reached out to a good, dear friend of yours to announce it.
Dear friend.
A dear friend. So why don't you put your headphones on and listen, and we'll have you in the corner because we are about to hear. Head on over to your Slack for the video, and we are going to hear from one Brittany Bateman.
Oh my God. You're kidding.
Hi, Christine. This is
Christine.
from Tables, and ding, ding, ding. I have an announcement. You're having your third baby. Honestly, that is the coolest thing ever. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. It sounds like you already have two beautiful babies as it is, and you're having a third. I hear that you really grow as a parent with your third baby more than anything else, because all of a sudden, I mean, you've got two hands, and all of a sudden, there's a third. So, good luck. I'm sure everything will go wonderfully. I'm Brittany from Salt Lake City Housewives, and I just wanted to send my
she needs
love
to tell me.
and send my congratulations. This is from Tables. I'm not sure
From
where you guys come up
Tables.
with these names, Shep and Tables. I've got to hear the story. I've got to hear the backstory. Who are you? And what do you do in the world? You got to reach out to me on Instagram and give me more information than this. But Tables? This is from Tables. I'm Brittany, and you're Shep. You're Christine, but you're Shep. Okay, anyway, congratulations, and just so much love your way. Mwah.
Oh my goodness. Wow, she's really lovely. I feel so bad. The women are so mean to her. That was so nice.
So, yes, congrats, Shep.
Wow. Thank you.
I also like that Brittany's doing ripping cameos off at a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
She is the hardest working wannabe housewife in the world.
She's not a house. I don't even know who this person
She's a
is.
friend of, and the women are evil to her.
How can they be?
I mean, she kind of asks for it, but
But she
Not
asked you to
here.
DM her and let her know what you do.
that was so sweet.
So, yeah,
Look at
congrats,
Greg's
Shep.
face. He's so proud of
So
himself.
nice.
It's been a
No, I
journey
don't know
with
who
these
this is.
announcements. So
Thank you.
It means nothing to me when I see it because I don't know who this person is, but it means everything when I see Shep's reaction.
yeah.
So,
That was really, I feel like I, have said some mean things about her in the past, and now I want to be her best friend. It was so nice to me. And she called me Christine. Wow. And it was from Tables, really. So thank you.
yeah.
Good job.
I thought it'd be funnier that way.
Let's just throw this name in there. Is there anything you want to say? You want to talk now that it's out there?
Oh, well, thank you everyone for not saying anything about how I've gained 20 pounds. And yeah, exciting times. Baby number 3.
And we are giving birth to another new sponsor here today. Me,
Hey.
part of the e-commerce team here at Cypress North. As you heard last week, we have really sort of two divisions that we specialize in: lead gen and e-commerce, led by the fantastic Maggie Humphrey. We've got big news coming later in the year on that front as well. She might not know it yet, but our e-commerce team is a phenomenal team here. We handle a variety of different products. And I think the thing that I'm most proud about from our team is that we don't really focus on in-platform metrics. We care about your business, right? And we have some clients where we have products that sell really quickly, sell out. And then we have products that kind of sit on shelves, and we work in a way to make sure that we are able to hit their business needs and focus more dollars on the things that don't sell as well and spend less on things that do sell quite quickly. So I think that's the most unique proposition that we have, is we really try to get in there and understand your business, understand how things work, and understand what actually matters the most to you and how you can make more money and do better, not just looking at some sort of vanity metrics. So we've got a phenomenal team. We've got more e-commerce news, like I said, coming out later in the year, but it's a fantastic team. And if you're looking for anybody to handle your e-commerce, you can contact us anytime. We are always there, and we are always working to get you to hit those goals that you have.
CypressNorth.com or jbud@cypressnorth.com. Hit us up.
Okay, getting into the news. I think the e-commerce team will like this one. Dario Zanoni found a help page for a new beta in Google Ads. It is PMax optimization experiments for A/B testing for assets. So on the help page, it says, this is an experiment that compares the performance of two different sets of assets, so an A group and a B group. And once available, the experiment can be set up from the experiments page under the assets submenu. So when you set this up, you're going to have a control group, which is a selection of your existing assets. So I guess that can include, because everything is an asset now, headlines, descriptions, formerly extensions, images, etc. in your PMax campaign. And then there's going to be a treatment group, which is a selection of assets that you want to compare against that control group, which can include other existing assets or new assets you upload for the test specifically. And then between them, if there's any common assets that are in both, they will continue to serve normally to 100% of your campaign's traffic, but the control and treatment assets are going to only serve to their respective traffic splits. So I think this sounds good.
I don't like the sound of it, personally.
Really?
I know you think it sounds good. I don't like the word treatment. Whatever happened to like the scientific process? You have a control and a test, or a variable. Well, it's treatment?
Treatment,
I
yeah.
don't like that.
You're getting dosed.
So do you think it's different?
No, it seems like it's the same thing. I'm reading the help docs right now. So in the control arm card, you can see anything that's existing. In the treatment arm card is all your new assets that you're testing. So it's almost within your asset group in PMax, you have two other asset groups. So you have an asset group, and then a control asset group, and a treatment arm asset group.
And also, what happens if you have text enhancements turned on?
Great question. I love the ability to test. Don't get me wrong. The treatment thing, I think, is, I've never heard anybody be like, this is a treatment when you're doing a test. Like, it should be an experiment.
Yeah. And I just think creative in PMax, that's not where I don't want to test creative in PMax, really. I want to test it in other campaigns and then use those learnings for PMax.
Right, especially if PMax is rewriting things and you've got all that turned on.
Testing is always good.
Love it. I love it.
Definitely not bad.
No.
A couple of limitations. Both the control and treatment assets will count towards the asset group limits of assets that you can have per asset group. And say asset again. And you can only test assets within a single asset group per experiment. So again, this is in beta. Be on the lookout.
If you have multiple asset groups, you can't run treatments within both. You can only run it within one of the asset groups.
Per experiment,
like, yeah.
So you
I don't know
probably
if you could
don't
have-
want to even have two asset groups, I'd assume. Right? You probably, if you're trying to funnel to one asset group to get intel, you'd probably go to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd keep everything else as simple as possible. What else is happening?
Okay. According to Google over on the keyword blog, Gmail is entering the Gemini era. Gmail's in its Gemini era. I'm here for it. I
Yeah?
love it.
Is it going to help with search? That's what I care about.
Shep, you are jumping ahead, but you are going to absolutely love one of the examples.
Okay.
So one thing that it's going to do is it's going to be able to ask your inbox anything. And so there's an example where in the main header, they said, who was the plumber that gave me the quote from the bathroom renovation last year? Check out that
It's
screenshot.
exactly what I want.
And it pulls up a little AI overview and it says, I found 3 formal quotes and 2 recommendations for the bathroom renovation. It lists them all out, and then you can link straight to that email.
Nice.
This is what AI overviews were born for.
Yeah.
A messy inbox.
Yes.
Yes.
Another thing that you will be able to do, which I also appreciate, there is a lot of just communication you have to do that's like, got it, received, well, good to go, see you on the 10th. It will be able to write for you as well. So it can send you, like, auto-populate. In this example, they were confirming like a reservation or something and said, that sounds perfect, we'll see you on the 10th, blah, 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 blah. Boom, sent. You can also use it with a little prompt to say, hey, I need a return for this planter that I received that had a crack down the side. And then it actually wrote an email with no errors in it, which is great for Google showing AI off. And it said, I'd like to request a refund and return for this terrazzo planter. It links right to the order because it arrived cracked. According to your return policy, I'm 9 days within the 30-day window. Can you please advise me on next steps? So I think that's fantastic. And then this is where it's a little much for me. But again, I've got, in any given year, 5 to 6 different teams. And this example like resonated with me. There's an AI inbox and you can get there and it just outlines everything that you need to know. For example, this person, Susan, from the example given, they have 3 suggested to-dos and 5 topics to catch up on. The suggested to-dos are at the very top, and then there's the topics to catch up on. And it's like, here's everything you need to know about Kevin's soccer season. The practice has been canceled due to poor rain conditions. It's now gone Friday. Here's when the playoffs are. Here's the team party. It looks really, really nice. Is it actually going to be nice? I don't know. But I dig this because keeping your inbox clean is it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I only have bandwidth for one clean inbox, and that's my work inbox.
Yes. But this would be helpful for work too.
Yes,
I would be nervous that it's going to miss things.
I don't know if it's coming to Workspace in any near time, and it might be an added something where you have to pay for that, but it is a Gmail feature at the moment.
Or if it could do a better job of like, you got 5 sales emails.
Mm-hmm. Would you like me to delete those?
Yes.
Yeah. Or here's your promo code. That'd be nice.
Oh, wow.
Surface my promo codes. I'll buy everything. And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's Cool Tool assesses marketing impact so you can just sit back, relax, and truly understand how your channels are doing. So you shouldn't sit back at all. It's Work Magic, and it's an incrementality testing, marketing mix modeling, and multi-attribution tool in one. Our team is using this for a client and has raved about how customizable you can get with the segmentation. You can go beyond just a channel, dive deeper into tactic level performance, identify opportunities, easily set up holdout tests, and more. Greg, you use this bad boy. Do you have any thoughts?
Yes. This is not paid.
Yeah.
I've received $0 from this. Clients are actually paying for this. It's a phenomenal tool. It's so amazing. I love it anytime a tool gives you the ability to customize metrics. So, for example, if you wanted to find out for a specific campaign, let's say what the percentage of new orders or new customers versus existing customers are, and make a metric like that doesn't exist, you can make like your own custom columns. There's these dashboards that just came out of beta that you can make all your own dashboards, all the same color, which is kind of weird. But it's just a phenomenal tool. And we work with a bunch of MMMs, and this one it's so user-friendly. So love it. But again, this is not an ad.
No.
Jess, you got to call them. Turn them into a sponsor.
You know
Because,
what?
man, I could sell the heck out of this.
Yeah, we could. We're coming for you. Work Magic. Workmagic.io to check it out. And if you weren't watching and you were just listening and couldn't hear the smile on Greg's face, the man loves the tool.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Anthony Higman and I guess Lily Ray. They kind of comboed it. When Google announced the Gmail change with the AI overviews in there, Lily had asked, will this count towards total Gemini daily average users or monthly average users? And then had like a smiley sweating emoji, to which Inspired Taste, the good folks over there, said, disabling this on day 1. Unfortunately, they will count us as an active user because the feature can't be fully turned off. And then Anthony Higman came in from the top ropes and goes, there you go. All caps. Turn that ass off. Exclamation, 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 exclamation. F-A-I. Exclamation, 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 LOL. And he has a link on how you can remove any Gemini from your workspace account, where you can do it in your admin console and all that. And then he says, you can. We did it like a year ago and it started. It's hard though. Many steps. And he'll find it in his video walkthrough. So if you want to turn that off, which I do not in my personal account, I need it on. Dearly need it on. But you could go follow Anthony Higman and he's got it. He really hates it.
He should do cameos.
Oh. Next time you're pregnant, we'll get him. I can't imagine.
What if that was who I introduced?
If anyone doesn't know the history, the first pregnancy, Greg sent me this man. What is his name?
Satchel from Steel Panther.
It was so inappropriate that I've never seen the original version.
The best guitarist in the world. Hands down, I don't think there's even an argument that he's the best guitarist in the world. And we would listen to Steel Panther every day before we recorded. I thought I was doing something nice, and he came in and he was trying to make claims that it was his baby.
You two would listen to Steel Panther, and I would sit there like this.
It pumped us up.
Do you even recall who I got to announce your last
Yes,
pregnancy?
the last one was very good. It was Giselle Bryant, Real Housewife of Potomac, OG, going in the record books.
Okay.
I cannot believe she said Shep.
And then I schemed up with Julia to find out a Salt Lake person. For
Julia picked Brittany Bateman?
Yes. She picked
doesn't
Salt
even
Lake.
Watch Salt Lake.
So I typed in Salt Lake, saw good reviews, and she even did a little glass thing for you.
Well, so you don't know the history behind that. This is like why the women hate her. She is in this on-again, off-again relationship with Donny Osmond's less successful brother.
All right, she got Osmond in her.
And
Wow.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
She's always like, oh, we broke up again. And then they'll like be at a dinner and like nobody asked Brittany. And she's like, I have an announcement. Ding, 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 ding. Me and Jared are back together.
Aw.
And they're all like, okay.
I do not know her. I do not know her backstory, nor do I care.
Well, thank you for supporting her and me.
I really wanted to find somebody that was a good parental figure for you to send the message.
I don't want to say anything mean about her because she was really nice to me, but I don't know if I'd say she was a good parental figure. Do you know the history of this?
I've heard some things.
Okay.
Just Shep, baby. Know that
She
you're
was
loved.
so nice. I don't want this to be.
So wait, are you basically an Osmond now?
No.
My mom would say Osmond by injection.
Oh my God.
You can cut that if you have to.
Do not cut that.
Now it's time for this week's
Pew, pew.
lightning round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
All right, before we get back into the news, just another quick word from our sponsor this week, which is us. More specifically, the Cypress North e-commerce team. If you're selling online, you know how critical it is to show up in the moments that matter from the research and consideration.
Jess, what are you
phase.
talking about?
What do
Give
you
it
mean?
from the heart, Jess.
Okay. We will do such a good job. We will spend your money effectively. We will look at what you're doing, amplify what's working, figure out why what isn't working, and make it work. How's that? That was from the
Great.
heart.
Yeah.
That's us. We will do that. Our e-commerce team will absolutely do that for you. We will move the needle where it's not being moved, boost your bottom line. We'll do it.
Yeah, the team only talks in acronyms. ROAS, POAS, LTV, CAC.
CAC's my favorite. Anyway, you want to CAC with us and you want to do better in 2026, cypressnorth.com to learn more, or you can hit me up directly, JBud, that's BUDDE, at cypressnorth.com.
First up in the paid universe, Adweek is reporting that Walmart announced it is actively testing ads within Sparky. You guys know Sparky?
I am not familiar. I shop a lot at Walmart as well.
Really?
Yep, I get my grocery shopping there.
Oh, well,
Wow.
this is their AI shopping agent. I think it's a really good name.
It's a cute name. Is it supposed to be like the little Walmart flower? Is a Spark?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. You'd think Greg would know, but he doesn't.
Never even knew Sparky existed. I order once a week.
Are you buying online, picking up in store?
No, shipping to the house is free.
Oh.
Same prices as anything else.
Is there like a monthly subscription?
I got it with Paramount Plus or something. It's like maybe like $90, but it's free. It's like good for, it's bad if you want like produce, but it's good if you're like, hey, I need Cabot Greek yogurt or something like that.
I like produce.
Yeah, it's bad for that.
Ads within Sparky may appear as a sponsored prompt when shoppers ask the tool questions for product recommendations. So maybe you'll see some Cabot ads there. Reddit has a new campaign type that automates targeting, creative, selection, and rotation, placements, and budget allocation, while still providing advertisers with the right amount of control to apply their own strategic expertise. And what do you guys think it's called?
I know what it's called.
Reddit and forget it.
Not bad.
Thank
I
you.
actually love that.
You're welcome.
It's called Max Campaigns.
Oh,
Max Campaigns.
it's everyone's favorite superhero.
It's like, can you think of a dumber name for a campaign than Max Campaigns?
Yeah, plural.
It's like, at least you could be like, Performance Max. I can cut that down to PMax, but to be like, hey, what about our lumber Max Campaigns campaign?
Like HBO tried it and look how it worked out for them.
We need to call it like Max Cam.
Ooh, I like that. I mean, I don't, but it's better.
It sounds kind of dirty, doesn't it?
Yeah, like Cinemax after
also,
hours.
I would like to hear from a Max about how he feels about,
Yeah. I know him. Well, I used to know Max. Went to Sunday school with him. And he was like my number one number for some reason that I had that we would just prank call him. And he would answer the phone and we would just be like, game today.
Wait, do you still know his number off the top of your head?
No, it was, I had it written down in like a little address book.
we?
My friend Ellie Sekula and I.
Poor Max.
I don't know if he ever knew it was us.
And
Anyway,
now
we
he's
call
like
him.
the biggest buzzword in advertising.
You're
Dang.
welcome.
It's tough out there.
So one other thing with these that I thought was cool is there's a new feature within Reddit ads called Top Audience Personas, where you can see which personas are interacting with your ads. The only way you'll be able to see this moving forward is Max Campaigns. It's a new feature. They have an example there where you can see for this specific product that leisure and tech idealists have a higher click-through rate and a lower cost per result. So kind of some cool stuff. You can see like basic communities that they might be into. So even if you're using this as like a prospecting tool, Max Campaigns, you might be able to say, wow, I didn't know, I wouldn't even target this group of people or these communities. And it does surface it. And so for example, the leisure and tech idealists, there are communities like camping, technology, and gaming, where off-road enthusiasts are things like Jeep, off-roading, truck dads, stuff like that. So it could help you find even some more communities to really like dive into deeper with more precise targeting.
Google Ads added something new to the change history report. This is from PPC Newsfeed. If you select an item in change history, there's a button at the top where it says go to, and you can jump right to the campaign or the ad group. So I think usually you just have the column for campaign, but you weren't able to necessarily jump to the ad group before. So that'll be really nice if you want to dig deeper into the change. Next up, Raju Kumar posted a new Google Ads eligible limited warning. I don't even know if this is new. I just don't read all of them because there's so many. But it's telling them to add new keywords. Help you reach people who are interested in what your business offers but may not be currently seeing your ads. Add new keywords to your list. He says, WTF Google, keeping yourself busy instead of just fixing the match types.
Also, I hate this with a million passions. Every passion out there. Fruit. The old TV show drama.
You used to rant.
Passions.
You used to rant. And now you sit there and you say, I hate this. You're like, have you seen Clue?
No.
Oh, the lady's like, flames on the side of my face. I'm so mad. That's you right now.
Okay.
Show us your passion.
If I put a freaking keyword into an ad group, I don't care if you think it's relevant or not. Then don't show it. I know what my customers or my clients' customers are looking for, and I might want to go out there and have a little campaign and see, and maybe I have to overspend. Maybe I have to have a high CPC, but I know that my product fits the need of somebody searching for something. I don't need you to tell me that it's not relevant. I need you to do your job, Google Ads, and I need you to show the ad. I don't need a warning saying that it's not targeting relevant searches. I'm paying you for my keyword. I want this to show. If I have to pay more, I'll pay more. I don't care. I know that somebody looking for X might buy Z. I don't want to bid on freaking keyword A. I want X. I put it in there. Don't tell me it's not relevant. Figure it out. Take my money.
Okay.
And it's just gaslighting people too, because you'll have clients that get in like, well, this is limited. You got this limited. It's like, we're going after this specific segment and we need to show up all the time for this because it's so valuable. Google just doesn't think it's relevant. It makes everything look bad. I want to show for this term. Good. Tell me that I need to bid higher. Fine. Don't tell me it's not relevant. I don't need your help on that.
I felt like I was being yelled at when he was making eye contact with me. But I'm not Google.
Flames on the side of my head.
You should watch it. You kind of remind me of that lady. Google Ads will update its advertising policies to allow ads for prediction markets on January 21st, 2026.
I wonder if there's a prediction market like on Kalshi or Polymarket for this. Like when will prediction
So you
markets?
know about prediction markets?
Yeah, they're the best.
I was all excited about this, but it looks like it's mostly about politics. It's not like...
Sports, politics.
Well,
there's probably celebrity stuff.
do you want to hear my bets for the year?
Yes.
Some of them are about you. Jess, I was inspired by the story. I think you're going to get into sports betting.
You think?
You like sports? I think you're going to get an app.
I do have an addictive personality, so.
And then second prediction, Pilates.
Pilates. How do you know that I have been considering Pilates?
Just know. Okay, these are my predictions for Greg. I think in 2026, you will get a tattoo.
Ooh. We were just talking about this at lunch yesterday.
She wasn't there.
That one you've talked about in the past, so whatever. That wouldn't be super high stakes. But I also think that you're going to get a spray tan.
I'm not going to get a spray tan.
Because I think you are going to enter one of those muscle man fitness competitions.
I eat way too much for that.
That is not true.
It is totally true.
You don't eat enough.
You
I'm
eat
like
Greek
athletic,
yogurt.
but I'm not like bodybuilders. You can't eat.
Okay, well, my third prediction will help you with that. I think you're going to try either the tapeworm diet or ear stapling to suppress your hunger.
See, you're very close. Like I'm about to go non-natty. I think peptides.
What is that? What? Explain, please.
Peptides. BBC
Science
157.
What?
They only speak in acronyms on the
Oh, that's right. That's
I'm an
right.
e-commerce team.
Okay, speaking of predictions, Anthony Higman has one. He says, I don't know why, but I have a sinking feeling that I'm going to despise Google Ads in 2026. LOL, but I don't think he's laughing. In the search term report, he's seeing the option for AI Max, where you can filter and see search terms and landing pages from AI Max, but he doesn't have AI Max turned on in any campaigns. So he's very suspicious and hates it.
He should.
So does he not even use like ChatGPT for like anything?
Want to call him up and see if he uses ChatGPT?
I just said, has he ever dabbled? Like he's really so against this Gemini inbox thing.
Higman, you're on the show.
Okie dokie. Here we go.
We have an actual question.
Yeah.
Do you actually hate AI or do you use ChatGPT every now and then? Are you a dabbler?
Like is he just religiously opposed?
I'm a dabbler.
Oh! Do you have any campaigns or clients that have AI Max?
We do not, but we tested it.
Okay. Okay, but you're a dabbler.
Yeah, so I use it for like silly things, idea stuff I do. But it's more like I don't know, general larger marketing stuff. I don't use it for like ad copy. Sometimes like I'll be like, what's the difference between this and this? I do use it some. I don't.
So like for photo
I
hunt.
just yeah, I just like AI in dynamic environments like Google Ads. I don't like, but I think ChatGPT can be cool sometimes.
Okay. And then congrats on your top 100 business, right? Give yourself a shout out.
Yeah. Thank you. We just won top 100 small business and best PPC agency by I forget what place.
Okay. All right. Well, congrats. Adsquire.com, everybody. Thanks, Higman.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thomas Etchell spotted call assets in vehicle ads in Google Ads this week. So there's a little button right there, and you can call that car salesman and get your deal.
Let me just call for Porsche. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Nell Hopkins has the LinkedIn post breaking down all the ways you can connect with Microsoft advertising support. So we will have this link in the email this week in the show notes, and you can bookmark it if you're ever having any issues. There's a separate link for account suspension appeals, general support, or feature requests.
Ooh, love that one.
She's the best. Thank you, Nava. And we have a lot of updates here in Brom Vander Corner with Brom Vanderhalen. First, when you add a promotion to your ad, Meta may now show that promotion in the ad itself without the need to tap on your ad. So someone can see the promo right there without clicking. I love that. Meta also recently added the website highlights feature. So these highlights are pulled from your website and may automatically show in your Meta ad. And it looks like a little preview of your website, which we've seen from Google Ads too. Luckily, you can choose to disable this option entirely in your settings, or you can manually select which websites highlights you want to show. So I like that one. Also, you can now see more attribution comparison breakdowns in your report. So for conversion count, you can see first conversion broken out from all other conversions if they converted after that initial one. So that seems like a big one for e-commerce people. And then they also have an attribution breakdown, which seems awesome. So you can compare attribution models in Google Ads, what they'd call a segment. I don't know what they call it in Meta. I guess a breakdown. But you could see your results for a 1-day click attribution or a 2-day, 7-day click attribution, 1-day engaged view, etc. Love that. Okay, that's it for paid. What is happening in organic?
All right. First up in organic this week, Microsoft has launched Copilot Checkout and brand agents as well. So if you're on copilot.com, you may now have the ability to search, see a product, and then you can either get details on it, this little card that shows up, or be able to buy. And it's a very slick experience, I think. Also, if you have a Shopify business, you can have what's called brand agents, where it can try to bring your brand voice over to the interactions that happen on Copilot. The examples they gave on this didn't seem that great, to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed with it, but if you're a Shopify user, you can have that happen. And then just with the checkout, it will work with partners that include PayPal, Stripe, and then Shopify and Etsy. It'll be on there. And if you want to apply, there's a link. So we'll put that over subscribe.newsletter.marketingclock.com. We'll have that link there. And if you are in Shopify, one other note, you're going to be automatically enrolled in this, which I imagine most people are happy about, but there is an option to opt out if you don't want it, which is nice. Google is personalizing some AI overviews and AI mode answers. There was an interview, and Robbie Stein from Google had the question was weird. It was about if you would see less AI mode and AI overviews if you don't engage with them. And then I kind of got into the fact of AI mode and AI overviews. There's going to be a small test where if you like a lot of video that it's providing, you'll get more video, and it'll try to have more personalization elements based off of your preferences within each of those. So whatever you like more in AI mode, you'll probably start getting more of that in the future, even though it's a beta right now. All right. And from Barry Schwartz over on Search Engine Roundtable, there was a lot of search ranking volatility that was also coinciding with AdSense earnings drops. And this was on January 6th. So if you have seen anything, just storm on over to whatever is your sort of capital source for information. Maybe it's Search Console or whatever, and check it out and see if you were impacted. Danny Sullivan on the Search on the Record, Off the Record podcast talked about the fact that you shouldn't try to optimize towards AI options out there. More importantly, about making bite-sized chunks for LLMs. So he was going on kind of one of his, not rants, but just talking and flowing as Danny well does. And he says, one thing I keep seeing over and over in some advice and guidance, and people are trying to figure out, what do we do with LLMs or whatever, is that turn your content into bite-sized chunks, because LLMs like things that are really bite-sized, right? So we don't want to do that. I was talking to some engineers about that. We don't want you to do that. We really don't. We don't want people to be crafting anything for search specifically. And that's always going to be the answer. Don't do something for any human being or anything out there if it's not something that's good for your customer. I will go out on the record and say, make your content bite-sized. People like to skim. It should be something that you can read or at least digest and get to certain portions of your content and dive in deeper when you want to. But don't do it for LLMs and for search engines. Do it for your freaking customer that doesn't read like people used to. You're not reading a newspaper or novels anymore. You're skimming an article, finding the spots you like. So make those easily digestible and easily identifiable so people can find the information they want. But don't do it for LLMs. I'm with Danny. But also make your content bite-sized. You should be doing that for your people. All right. And OpenAI is introducing something that can't go wrong. ChatGPT Health.
Oh,
A
no.
dedicated experience that securely brings your health information and ChatGPT's intelligence together to help you feel more informed, prepared, and confident navigating your health.
I have never felt less confident.
Ask how they feel about peptides.
You guys are going to think I'm crazy. I love this.
You love this?
Yeah, I love it. I'm not going to get political here. We live in a country, America, where healthcare is the most expensive, and you're treated like numbers. You go into these places, people don't know your name. They don't care about you. When my twins were being born, I was like, hey, this one isn't growing. And they're like, oh, that's totally fine. That's very normal. That's just that boys grow faster than girls. And I'm like, well, it's the boy that's not growing well. And it's like, oh, okay, we got to be hospitalized. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about anything. Any of these doctors, it's all just a money grab. It's a cash grab. It's all a cash grab. So you know what? I'm not going to use this. I use Whoop, but I put my blood into my Whoop. I put my blood readings into my Whoop app, and it tells me everything I need to know. It tells me how to be healthier. It tells me when my heart's up. I enjoy it. I feel a sense of like safety in a way, would be like, hey, everything's looking good. My heart's normal. Everything's fine. I don't need these stupid doctors that think I'm a number.
Okay.
Okay.
I just hope that ChatGPT Health doesn't like talk to health insurance companies and be like, Greg's actual age is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a healthy boy.
And yeah, but what if it was the other way?
Yeah, that's something to think about.
It's like those things you can plug into your car to get a better car insurance rate, and then you drive like a crazy maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adverse effects.
So they also have protections and controls for sensitive information. Allegedly, it was built with physicians as well. They worked with more than 260 of them to help determine all this. I think if there's anything out there that can be helpful for people, go for it.
I just hope it's actually helpful.
The video was so stupid. So nobody needs. It's like some mother walking her child. And it's like, hey, you need to get your heart rate up. Do a couple air squats. It's like,
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows how to get your heart rate up.
My heart rate is none of my business.
Do a burpee.
I got to step on the scale at the doctor. I close my eyes. None of my business.
It's a hard time right now. You don't.
Okay, it's also a hard time in traditional search right now. It's 37% of customers start searches with AI instead of Google, according to a study from 802.com. 8 is spelled like 8, O is spelled OH, and 2 is TWO.
8 like the number. There's another 8 like food.
Oh, 8 like the number.
Yeah.
But it's not the number. It's spelled whatever.
What?
802 says,
802.
yeah, but the O isn't an O. It's OH.
I know, but you said 8 spelled like 8, but there's
It's
multiple
like
8s.
Oh, 2.
There you go. So AI is now influencing purchase decisions as well. AI's role now extends beyond just the casual queries. 47% of consumers have used AI to help make a purchase decision. 57% have used it to find the best prices. 54% have used it to compare products. And 48% have used it for AI-generated review summaries. I do that. I want to see what people are talking about on Reddit. I want to see reviews. I don't want to do all that. I don't know why I turned Italian. Is that why you're laughing?
She said dude.
Doo-doo.
I was wondering if that's why you're such a lady. So when you laugh at stuff like that, it just brings me joy.
Okay. Well, they also said traditional search fatigue is real. And they said that the majority of what people are concerned with is clicking through too many links, too many ads and sponsored results, difficulty getting to a straight answer, and then repetitive or low quality information. So not great for traditional search. Also not great for people that are not on Amazon and don't want to be on Amazon is allegedly Amazon has a buy for me feature where you can purchase products through Amazon without being on Amazon and without permission of the retailer. So there's an example of Bobo Design Studio, similar to Doo-Doo. And she was shocked when she found that her product catalog was available for sale on Amazon's marketplace. And she had specifically tried not to be on Amazon, but the Buy For Me AI-powered tool that was unveiled last year allowed her products to be sold without her consent. So if you are a retailer, it might be something to consider, to look at, and take control of that. Also, there are rumors that OpenAI may be looking to acquire Pinterest as part of its expanded data push. That would be a huge win, I would say, for OpenAI if they could get all that user data and information and block it from everybody else and see what's hot and trending and everything like that. It would be a huge win. It is just a rumor that was started by in a prediction post from The Information. Okay, over on Google Discover, Glenn Gabe is seeing a lot of X posts on Discover. To one point, he saw 34 X posts and 12 YouTube videos in his feed. It's taking over. We're going to hear a little bit more from Glenn, and he's going to talk about this exactly, but it does seem like more X and more YouTube is making its way to Discover. So stay tuned. It's one of the best interviews we've had on the show with Glenn this week. And then lastly here, kind of a sad story. Adam Wathan from Tailwind CSS let go of 3 people of his 4-person team, 75% of his engineering team because of AI. The main reason was the traffic to Tailwind help documentation is down about 40%. And that is where most people learn about his solution and then buy his commercial products. So he also added that revenue was down 80%. He had an audio version of a morning walk, and it was quite sad. Like, I genuinely feel awful for him, and especially those 3 folks that are out of a job. But if one thing he said is business is struggling, but Tailwind CSS's product is more popular than ever. And I'm thinking, like, if the majority of people find your commercial products through help documentation, which is then being kind of repurposed in AI overviews and people might not be going there, you've got a bigger problem, right? Like, if that's where everybody is coming from, like, you're not running ads, you're not making content, you're not pushing, like, marketing your product, you just have help documentation. Like, these are things that, especially in this AI era, that you can't just rely on anymore. You need to have a good marketing mix. You need to focus on everything across the board. And it does sound like he's got some other ideas on how to get more predictable revenue and things like that. And hopefully those 3 people will have a job soon. But man, I wouldn't sleep at night if all of our business came from certain, like, help documentation and we couldn't get paying users any other way. I feel like that's sort of like a big takeaway from this is like, I'm sorry, Adam, that sucks. And at the same time, like, this is a wake-up call. If you're getting all of your business, say it's all from ads.
Yeah, from any source.
Bad, right? Like, diversify, test, try new things. Hey, maybe it's Max Campaigns. It's going to go out there and kill it for you.
Love that guy.
All right. And that's it in Organic What's Happening in Social, Bud.
All right, first up in social this week, Twitter really should have rebranded to 3Xs, as in adult content, because the platform is under major scrutiny and facing bans from India to France due to Grok's output of what Wired describes as violent sexual images and videos, as well as content that includes apparent minors. If you want to be disturbed, read the article. I recommend that you don't. Elon Musk posted that anyone using Grok to make illegal content will suffer the same consequences as if they upload illegal content, but folks are calling for clearer guardrails, real action. We'll see where that goes, but big controversy here at the start of the year. Pivoting to something much more wholesome, Pinterest is launching a new 6-episode series on Roku TV Shop, where popular pinners will partner with people, say that 5 times fast, to turn their Pinterest boards into real spaces and transformations. So move over QVC, there's also going to be a shoppable element to this, which is interesting. It'll allow viewers to purchase the displayed items. Not really sure how that's going to work, but it's part of the plan, and the big debut's in March. So smart. Keep an eye out. Very smart. All right, WhatsApp users should rejoice because there are some upgrades coming to chat. New features include member tags, and an example they used is Anna's dad, text stickers, and event reminders. But if you're not on a first name basis with Anna's dad, maybe don't invite him to your event. Just saying. Last up here, 7 trends to watch in 2026 from Mr. Social Media himself, Andrew Hutchinson. His list is short form video. Everybody knows that's hot. It's increasingly being consumed. It now makes up about 50% of all the time spent on Instagram. It's growing on other platforms too. So not part of your strategy. You better make it one. AR has been looming. Maybe this will be the year. We don't know. Andrew thinks so. He also thinks Redditors, these are maybe more his predictions than actual trends. He called them trends. He says Redditors will get sick of brands because more are seeping in. It may degrade the authentic experience that users come for. He also said AI slop is going to negatively impact sharing behavior because it's just everywhere and people aren't going to engage with it as much. He also said Threads will overtake X. We shall see. I don't know. I know it's growing and I know X is having troubles, but we'll see. He also thinks more platforms will test the algorithm opt-out, Facebook in particular. And finally, he's predicting that new teen-specific apps will emerge because of all the bans and age restrictions that are growing in popularity with the major platforms. It's possible. So if that's your audience, just keep your ear to the ground on that.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
Hardly working for me. I understand there's business things at play and whatever, but why do we need to get new reps for accounts for every ad platform every quarter? I'm over the introductions, explaining everything all over again. If I met you this week, you're a very nice person, but it's just a lot. I'd like to stick with one if they're good.
Do they take notes and transfer them to the next rep?
But it's not the same.
Yeah.
It is not.
Me telling them.
We just got these great new reps too. Awesome, but it's you just have to go explain all the problems again and why the business issues, and it's
and my social battery,
Yeah.
Introducing
rebuilding
myself.
rapport. Yeah.
I can't. Talking about the weather in Buffalo. I'm over it. I'm over it.
It's cold here. Working hard for me, feedback. You're never too old or too seasoned to ask for it or benefit from it. I've been getting a lot of feedback from Mr. Greg Finn lately that's been very helpful to me. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if you think something is good, it could definitely be better.
All right, something working hard for me this week is new customer targeting within Google Ads. It does work. Some of that is going to be dependent on how much extra value you have assigned for a new customer, but with some of that testing tying directly into an MMM and looking at Shopify data existing versus new, there is a noticeable impact. So if you're looking for new customers, highly recommend it, and then just test around seeing about that value that drives the needle the most while getting you the best return.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI, people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI, people. Harry Clarkson Bennett has a new article on the Leadership in SEO Substack on how Google Discover really works. He says fresh content gets an initial boost. Success hinges on a strong click-through rate and positive early-stage engagement, like good clicks and shares from all channels, not just discover. He also says that content that aligns with the user's interest is prioritized. So focus on your areas of topical authority, use a compelling headline, be entity driven, and use large images. He also says that your site needs to be seen as a trusted source with low spam if you want to do well in Discover. And there's some speculation at play here, but he says, I think Discover is driven by a 6-part pipeline using good versus bad clicks, long dwell time versus pogo sticking, and repeat visits to continuously score and rescore content quality. So that was the TLDR, but this is a really long, detailed article with a lot of actionable tips for anyone that wants to do better in Discover and know how it actually works. So we will have the links everywhere where you can check it out.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
In this week's must-read marketing article, we also talks about Discover, like Shep just talked about, but it is really the deepest dive into the December 2025 Broadcore update from Glenn Gabe over at gsqi.com, G Squared Interactive. He breaks everything down that you need to know, has 7 takeaways for you from this update. And honestly, we went long. We've got an interview talking about this article. It is a must bookmark, must read article. And let's hear from Glenn breaking this whole thing down right now. All right. And I'm here with the one and only Glenn Gabe of G Squared Interactive, gsqi.com. Glenn, thank you for being here today. And thank you for your most recent post. Another beast of a post called The Core Before Christmas, Google's December 2025 Broadcore Update Analysis and Findings from the 18-day rollout. Glenn, some of your finest work as usual. Love this, and we're going to kind of run through that if that's okay with you today.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. It's always great to be here. And yeah, it was a beast of an update. So that post was 4,000 plus words, and I cut out a bunch of stuff. So I might be covering more of that in a future video or post, but for now I had to cut it at that. So
awesome. Okay, so this was a big update, correct?
It was a huge update, and I really track it, pretty much, like at a very granular level, right? As soon as we know it's rolling out, I'm running visibility checks on thousands of sites that have been impacted by previous updates, by vertical, by country. So when it starts to land, you could start to get a feel for how big it's going to be. Now, we knew that the last one was June, so we had a long time in between Broadcore updates, plus everything going on with GEO and people, implementing tactics they probably shouldn't have, and AI generated content, all this stuff's going on. I had a feeling it was going to be a really big update. And from the very start, you could see massive swings in visibility across powerful sites, big sites, across verticals, countries, really starting with YMYL and finance is really where I started to see when the update landed on the 14th, which was about when it usually updates. It's a few days after they announce it that you really start to see it land. And finance sites were just either getting destroyed, dropping by 60, 70, 80%, or of course, since they're dropping, then others start surging up. It was a lot of volatility. And then right after that, I started seeing health and medical, right? So you could see YMYL, which is always impacted heavily by Broadcore updates as Google updates its core ranking system. But the swings, as you can see in the post, if you go and read the post, were really big. I mean, these are first of all, authoritative sites, big sites in their niche, and really falling off a cliff once the update started to land. Or just surging up like crazy. So it was really interesting to see.
Yeah, and we'll have some of those charts on screen. If you're listening audio only, podcast-wise, definitely go head on over to gsqi.com, read the whole thing, bookmark it, save it. And then after sort of that YMYL impact that we saw with finance, then trickling into health and medical, it seemed like there was some surging of spam that may have been an unintended a result of this. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't envy Google with what it has to do, right? So it's updating, this core ranking system, or a group of systems. So it's core core ranking algorithm, which Google can't even tell you how many systems are part of it. There's so many, right? And they can counterbalance each other and all sorts of stuff can go on. So it's always interesting when you see spam surging through the roof, right? And I'm not saying there was a ton of this, but I came across a number of examples of sites with a lot of spam. And that's what was like really surging up. So I provided some examples in my post. My guess is, and I've seen this before many times, this will get corrected, right? Those sites will come back down, but it's just crazy that when this update launched and landed, that, you know, you could see, you know, sites with a lot of spammy content and tactics going on, just kind of surging with no authority, by the way. It's just like, it's really weird to see.
Yeah, and spam kind of covers a broad spectrum, I would say. And in this case, it was a lot of things that were like injected, right? Like it was like the spammiest spam that's spammed, essentially.
Yeah, and it's funny because this morning I came across another, and I'm actually going to share something on X, just an example of what it looks like. But yeah, I mean, they're basically cloaking, right? So as a user goes normally through the site, they're seeing one thing. You change your user agent to Google, and suddenly you see something completely different, right? Or, you know, from the search results, you click through and you're automatically redirected downstream to wherever they want to send you, right? In this case, it was a lot of like shopping related stuff. So somebody spamming to get people onto these sites, like, I don't know who would do that to suddenly start buying something from, you know, getting redirected from where you're going, but that's what was going on. Similar this morning, total cloaking job. You know, where basically if I change my user agent, it was like the latest Starbucks gift card and you're on like a, you know, a business site. It had nothing to do with that type of stuff. So again, you know, usually Google starts to pick this stuff up. Those sites surge and then you'll see them like a few days or a few weeks, they'll drop back down. Maybe they get a manual action if someone reports it. But that's the type of stuff that I was seeing on the spam front.
Okay. And then I would say this is, again, maybe on the lower spectrum of that spam side of things. But we saw more listicles popping up, right? And not really like a listicle like, hey, I actually did the research and I'm unbiased and here are the best running shoes that you need to do. And I don't take like a cut and they're not all my brand shoes. But these were more like self-serving, right? Like the best. And then all of a sudden these companies put all their own things up there. There seems like there's a rise of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've been really like, this is all based on GEO, right? I mean, like, people figured out that you can write like whatever service you're in, product you're in, you could write a listicle of the best in that specific niche, put yourself first, and suddenly you're in AI overviews, AI mode, you're in ChatGPT and Perplexity and everywhere, right? So it's gotten really out of control. It's super embarrassing for the companies doing it. This is what I mentioned. And 100% this is going to come back down to earth. Now, it could be in the form of manual actions. It could be in the form of Google doing this algorithmically. There's no way that this is going to remain as is. So what I did was I've been collecting for months now all these sites that are doing that, right? So then I started running the visibility reporting for them, as well as checking specific queries. For the specific queries, a lot of them were still there, right? So Google didn't necessarily tackle this yet. I actually have a weird feeling it's going to be a manual action. I don't know that for sure, but it seems like it would be something like that, where it's kind of like a site reputation abuse twist, right? I don't know what they're going to call it, but something like that. But the interesting part was it didn't mean all of these sites were okay based on the broad core update. So running the numbers for these sites, I saw a number and I provided screenshots of them really dropping heavily during the update. It wouldn't necessarily be just for the listicle situation. It would be for the overall quality reevaluation. So those listicles, I'm sure, are not helping matters, but my guess is they had other issues that they were doing as well. But I'm telling you, there are some authoritative sites in their niche that are doing this, and it's really embarrassing, you know, and it's like, don't do that. It's going to end up really badly. My guess is manual action, but for all we know, they tackle it algorithmically. And the worst part is it may actually impact your whole site, right? Imagine it's a dragging down of your entire site's ranking because you're doing this. I mean, that's the risk you run when you start to game things. And that situation just drives me nuts because, again, it's kind of embarrassing.
Totally. So make sure you're stopping that nonsense. And then one other thing that was another kind of byproduct, and I know we talked about it on It's New when it came out, was that some news publishers and major ones saw a drop in Discover traffic. And I know you had said maybe coincidentally or just in general that there's just been a lot of X that's been showing up within Discover as well. But news publishers seeing a drop in Discover?
Yeah, so let's take a step back. So Discover, Google has always explained it as an extension of search. And that's what I've always seen, by the way, for the most part. So if you're impacted heavily, whether you're surging during a broad core update or dropping during a broad core update, Discover can be impacted that way as well. It's not uncommon for sites to completely get nuked from Discover if they're heavily impacted negatively during a broad core update, or surge back into Discover if they're impacted positively. So that I just want to take a step back. Now, with the update, a number of news publishers really dropped heavily. And again, this is some of the top news publishers in the industry. Also outside of this country as well. So in the UK and France and, all these countries I was checking, but in the US, some really big names, which I'm not going to call out. You could definitely find those names in other places. But they're really big sites that are very powerful that have dropped heavily. So I started receiving calls from some, news publishers that were impacted, and they're also like, we're gone from Discover. It's like cratering. So if they were doing a few 100,000 clicks or 50,000 clicks a day from Discover, it was dropping to like almost nothing. And again, that can happen. Now, the other interesting part is we recently saw Google say there is minimal alignment now with Discover and search ranking, which that struck me immediately as like, whoa, I messaged Barry immediately. I was like, you got to cover this and find out more about this because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And just seeing what we were seeing where sites were dropping out of Discover if they were impacted by the broad core update makes me think that they still are aligned, not minimally aligned, but still aligned. So I don't know. I may actually reach out to Google just more about that just to see if they can provide any information. So we saw that. Now back to your original point. I'd say over the past several months, X and YouTube are surging like crazy in Discover. Barry shared a great video of him scrolling down, and it was X, 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 YouTube, X, X, maybe a few publishers, X, 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 YouTube. And, right before we got on this call, on this Zoom, I actually went through my feed again, and it is completely filled with X and YouTube. More YouTube today than X, which is opposite of what it was. But the point is they are over-indexing on that. That has to change. I can't imagine they're going to continue to do this. And I have multiple, obviously, Google accounts, so I always check Discover in multiple accounts. And in some of the other accounts, it's not as bad, but there's still a lot of X in YouTube. So they're doing something there where, and obviously, who pays the price there? Media and news publishers.
Right.
I used to see Barry all the time in my feed, which I should.
Right.
And I rarely see Search Engine Roundtable in there anymore.
Huh.
And when I do, it could be this weird hybrid listing, which shows Search Engine Roundtable, but X at the bottom. So if I tap the bottom, I go to X. If I tap the top, I go to Search Engine Roundtable.
Maybe he stopped blogging. Oh, wait, no, he's already got 5 articles by 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, exactly. There's no shortage of Search Engine Roundtable articles. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you said something interesting, right? So that was when you talked about the minimal alignment from Zurich that came out December of last month. And Andy Almeida from the Google Trust and Safety team said, the minimal alignment to search ranking gives us tools we need to combat emerging abuse. So it doesn't sound like you think there's minimal alignment there. Have you seen any changes? Is there anything that would give you the inkling, yes, I believe this, it's minimal alignment?
Well, people have always spoken about the spam showing up there, like sites that really shouldn't. And that makes you feel like, okay, they are including sites that maybe don't have strong, search rankings and overall quality numbers and quality evaluation. But, seeing sites completely drop out if they're hit by a core update tells me that there's a lot of alignment there. So I don't know. I'd love to get more feedback from Google on this. Maybe we can, but it just seems really weird. But my feed again today, I would say, I think the other day I had 34 X listings and like 16 YouTube listings in one of my feeds. I mean, it was like the whole thing was that, right? So I don't know. I obviously there's an alignment with, especially with the broad core update with sites dropping out or surging back in. I had smaller niche publishers that did very well with this update that told me they are completely back in discovery. So there's definitely alignment there. So I don't know what he was talking about, but maybe he knows something that I don't know.
Okay, I just want to pick your brain on that. I know you
Yeah.
you had a bunch of tweet posts over on X as well on that. And
Yep.
just one note, if you are not following Glenn Gabe on LinkedIn or X, go do that right now. Amazing information on anything digital marketing, like a go-to. It's where we get a lot of our news stories, obviously here. There are some AI overviews and impacts and things like that, but I wanted to talk quick about the nav boost, right? And you had an
Yes.
interesting example where you actually had reached out, I think right even before they saw a drop, and you had
One
DM'd,
day.
yeah, you DM'd the editor in chief or somebody,
Yep.
and you said, hey, like these ads are pretty aggressive. And then boom, they saw a drop due to bad user experience, right? And that's what we learned about with Nav Boost. So are you seeing that with the core update, the December core update?
100%. So user experience is always a really important part, right? I've been talking about this literally since I think it was, well, first of all, it was medieval Panda days. I used to talk about that all the time because I was helping so many companies that were getting hit by Panda. And I'm going to the site and I'm like, I can't even see the content, right? So you knew something was going on there with that. Then I wrote about specifically what Nav Boost is without knowing what Nav Boost was in 2013, I think it was. And again, it was based upon companies coming to me and the user experience was terrible. It was usually super aggressive ads or some weird affiliate aggressiveness. So yeah, Nav Boost, now that we know about Nav Boost, which tracks 13 months of user interaction signals to understand happy versus unhappy users, do not cross Nav Boost. You don't want to be on the wrong side of Nav Boost. Beware. So anyone out there that's like, oh, ads aren't the thing. Well, first of all, it's never one smoking gun usually, but it is interesting to see the examples I gave in this post. Two, right? The first one was a site. I'm always on the site. They have great content. Okay. So it's not like they have bad content. And I can't even share their articles anymore. Because when I share them, people yell at me on social media because they're like, why would you share this? This is unbearable. I mean, it's really one of the worst aggressive advertising situations I've ever seen. Tough to get to the content that you hear your CPU burning as you're, no, seriously. And like ads are being removed by Chrome. It's a mess. So I messaged the person and I provide that message in my post by blocking out who they were and just said, listen, I love your content. I can't share it anymore. If you could tone this down, that would be great. Little did I know that less than 24 hours later, a broadcore update would roll out and they would immediately start to tank. Now, I'm not saying it's one thing, but that 100% is impacting them. There's no way it's not because people are probably running from the site. The other example I gave was a site that I helped all the way back with Medieval Panda and then even later on recover from some algorithm updates. And a few months ago, I noticed they implemented an ad that was one of the most aggressive ones I've seen, which was, like as soon as you went to the site from the search results, it was a pop-up, dimmed out everything on the site, and forced you to wait for that ad to finish before you could do anything. And you couldn't even close the ad. And I remember going, oh man, and the reason I was checking them, by the way, is just because all the smaller core updates rolling out, which happened in the fall of 2025, which I mentioned in the post as well. It's important to understand. And I was just checking their visibility and I noticed it and I said, I got to get back in touch with them. And I never did just because my schedule was crazy and I wish I did. And they tanked. I mean, it's actually one of the worst drops I've seen in this update. And that's saying something considering how big the drops were during this update. So they probably dropped by 75% or something like that. And that's a grave situation for them because they make money based upon traffic, like a lot of sites do. So anyway, so Nav Boost, if you're listening, look it up, research it. I wrote a post about it called Highly Visible and Low Quality. Don't cross Nav Boost. Don't go to the point of angering your users so much that they flee from your site because Google can pick it up.
Yeah, I'm worried about the future of publishing, to be honest with you. Like because again, a lot of things are being lost to AI overviews, AI mode, recapped, and less traffic. Then all you have are these ads that you can't go too crazy or all of a sudden you lose all your traffic. You lose more of your traffic. It's like, that's a bad place to be.
It is. It's very tough. I've worked with a lot of media publishers and news publishers over time and just sites overall that make money from traffic. So it's always a tough situation to say, cut down on your ads or else. But it's easier to say that when they've already been majorly impacted, and that's contributing, so that's easier for the situation. But you're right. I mean, the AI movement's happening so fast that it's tough to adjust to that as a publisher that quickly. And anyone out there, when I hear them say, "Oh, well, this is just the way," it's, forget clicks aren't the way to track things. It's like, okay, that tells me that you're not working with any companies, which most are, generating revenue through traffic, right? They're monetizing through traffic. So, you can't just say that, because many, many publishers, I just read about the Press Gazette, they're going out of business. They're in Pittsburgh. They've been around since the 1800s. I mean, it's not a great situation. But listen, there are still companies I'm helping getting literally millions of clicks a day from Google. And sometimes it's millions of clicks a day per surface. So it's through search and then through Discover. So you could still get a lot of traffic. It's just the movement is more obviously, AIOs and AI mode. And then some people are going to ChatGPT and maybe they're coming through Google. So it's definitely less traffic, but traffic is important for your business, and it is for many sites. You cannot ignore Google, and especially major updates like this. I called this throughout 2025. I said a lot of companies are either going to focus on the wrong thing or just focus on AI, forget about Google. And then you see some of these hits and you wonder how many of those companies actually dropped because they started focusing on other things that maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah. And we've worked with some publishers that are kind of that are almost moving away from that traffic base, where it's like, hey, we've got very specific subscriptions. Cool. We're getting you here on the news. Then guess what? You're going to be we're going to own your, not own you, but we're going to get your information. We're going to make that direct there, and we're going to sell the newsletters, right? Because we can go directly. So there are ways around it, but it's not an ideal space, I'd say.
And by the way, on that note, Substack surged like mad during this update. Huge update, huge surge. And obviously that's all subdomains based upon different writers, right? So I want to dig into that to see more about that. But it was one of the biggest surges that I've seen. It was really big in media and news. So
okay, and then it also seems like the Reddit translated stuff is still going strong. That's a surprising one. It was don't retranslate everything, and then if you Reddit it, apparently it's okay.
Yes, I wrote a 2-part series on this situation, because at the time it was millions of URLs per country and language that Reddit was publishing via pure AI translations. And I said, I know I've helped companies that called me after getting hit by either a spam update or a manual action for doing that exact thing, right? So I was like, okay, this is really weird. And we know the history of Google and Reddit, right? So the relationship there and the money being exchanged there. So that's when I reached out to Google and said, what's going on here? This was always, not okay to do. And they basically came back and said, if it's high quality content and you're translating it via AI, it's okay. Now, here's the danger, and they even mentioned this, is quality is in the eye of the beholder, right? So many companies that reach out to me go, we have the best content, when maybe it isn't, right? So let's say you had 500,000 articles on your site and you're like, well, we're translating this to French, Spanish, and German. Boom. Now you're tripling the amount of URLs on your site, and most of that is AI generated translations, right? If a majority of that content is not high quality, you're going to get hit by something, either a broad core update, a spam update, or you're going to get a manual action for scale content abuse. So that's the danger. And right after I posted that, Google said it was okay. I had publishers reaching out to me. Do you think we should do it? Is it okay? Are you giving us the thumbs up? And I'm like, I'm not giving anybody a thumbs up, because, it's just, I don't know if you scale heavily through pure AI generated content that's translated. I don't know how that's going to go long term. Anyway, back to the point. Reddit, as of now, it's almost 10 million URLs per country and language that have been added. And it's across like a whole slew of languages. I think there's like 22 languages that they're translating to. So think about how many URLs that is. And all it's doing is, like I showed in SEMrush, you could actually filter the reporting and the trending graphs based upon the AI translated content per country. And it's all up and to the right. So it's working for them, but they are Reddit with that special relationship with Google. So if you're out there and you're like, hey, we have, like I'm helping a site now that has 60 million URLs, and they're also thinking like, do we do it? Do we take? It's very, very risky in my opinion. So start small if you're going to do it. See how it goes over time, not like a week or two, and then maybe think about it. But yeah.
All right. So the recommendation and tip is if you're going to try that, start small. Don't do all the 60 million across 22 different languages.
Yep.
And including if you want more recommendations and tips, if you've been impacted by the December 2025 core update, Glenn has 7 different points that you can look at, assess, help you see what is happening and what you can do. So go check that out over on gsqi.com. So 7 great tips there and recommendations. And Glenn, anytime you want to come back on to talk about this, you have an open invite to come back here. Please go follow Glenn. He has got a good YouTube channel at Glenn Gabe. At the beginning of the core update, put out a post. Go subscribe there as well. Thank you so much, Glenn. Where else can people find you if you have anything else to promote?
Yeah, no, first of all, thanks for having me on again. It's always amazing to come on Marketing O'Clock. Love the show, still do. Been listening for a really long time now, too many years. But anyway, so people could always find me on X. I share a lot of information on X, on LinkedIn. I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Threads, and I have my Facebook page. But I would say X and LinkedIn are really 2 great ways. And then definitely my YouTube channel, because that's where I'm sharing information about these updates, weird things I'm seeing. If I write a post, I usually cover it on YouTube in a video, provide more color there and stuff like that. So that's becoming an important channel.
Yeah, absolutely. So even, if you wanted more on the Reddit, Glenn's got 13 minutes of this about Reddit. So we couldn't cover
Right.
it all there. So at Glenn Gabe on YouTube. Glenn, thanks so much for hopping on today and taking the time.
Excellent. All right. Thank you again.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingandclock.com. I will be adding Where's My Husband by Ray. He's probably in the bathroom. Greg?
I'm going to be adding Chopin.
Frederick?
No, no. I'm going to be adding It Won't Be Long by George Burge.
Jess?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast by Glass Animals.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock,
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
and we can't wait to see you next
Thanks
week.
for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.